Okay, so a big change that we've been asked about a lot in the new version of MarkMate is the fact that we've got rid of what we used to call the ad hoc labels and instead replaced it with something called the label designer. And this allows you to print labels on the fly for things like homework and extension tasks. So what we're looking at here is the label designer in MarkMate. You can get to this by going to your dashboard. At the very bottom you'll see a button that says Tools, click that and then click Label Designer. On the left we've got things we can add to our label and a few settings, and on the right we've got our blank label that we can add things to. So I'm going to add some text here and say maybe this is homework and I want them to label a diagram. So I don't know, please label the diagram. Just putting in whatever, for the students to see. I'm going to increase the font size of that one a little bit. I might even make it bold and underline it. So now I can just drag it around the canvas, whereas before you were limited to where you can put things. Then I'm going to add an image, so perhaps I've got an image of a plant cell that I want to bring in. So we can now add images onto our label as well, which is something that was asked for a lot. And then we can add in shapes as well. So I'm going to add in just a simple box, and then I might add in an arrow, let's say, to actually then point to a specific part of the cell. So maybe I'm going to point this to the nucleus, let's say, and then I might add another shape frame, add another box for labeling. Let's put it down here, and then put another arrow in. Maybe I'll point this to the cell wall or something like that. But hopefully you can see that this is really flexible. It allows you to really customize your labels. You can add in lots of different things, and then if I click print label, what I'll now have is that label ready to go, ready to be printed with the images and everything on there. I can print out multiple copies and hand them out to my students, and then they can use it and stick it in their homework book. But obviously that's just one example of how it can be used. The label designer is there for you to use for however you see fit. If you've got any suggestions of what you'd like added to the label designer, or perhaps ways that you use the label designer in your classroom, we'd love to hear them. Make sure you leave them in the comments below. We're taking all suggestions, and you never know, you might see an update coming out soon with your ideas there. Looking forward to seeing you again with the next MarkMate update.